So these treasure map teams are going to be very fast in the fact that you don't have to use any specials for a lot of these teams, as well as the fact that they are quite accessible, not using any of the new batch besides one rare recruit being the new Sanji. So I am using him on the final boss and Intrusion, but besides that we are just using the friend captains. So remember, this is a super treasure map, the first of its kind, so I would recommend actually trying this time around. I mean, it's very experimental this time because it is obviously the first time around they're doing this. I mean, it's nothing too crazy. They just added a few chopper man missions and up the points threshold to 15 million. And then also, of course, we have the ranking events, which allows you to get exclusive titles for the most highest personal rankings. And then also a bunch of gems from Alliance rewards. The rewards aren't that great in my opinion, but I mean, I'm glad they're still doing this anyways. It's just a nice added layer of competition for those who go hard in this game mode. But anyways, I digress. Let's begin with the first team against the Tobiroppo and Int mini boss. This team uses no specials. On the first stage, we are going to be using the special of Kuzan to wave clear, and in the second stage we can use our Kid and Law special to give us wave clear, as well as chain buffs, which will allow us to get around the chain attack down on the final stage. We are tapping through the burn. It's not harsh enough to actually be of irrelevance to us. And then we also get a 2x attack and all boost from our Kuzan's level limit break captain ability. So you will need at least level limit break 3 on your Kuzan. Level limit break 5 you literally don't need. It literally makes zero difference to your run. We have Hiyori there to give us 1 orbs, because the enemy will try and change our matching orbs and also interrupt us if we try and change the orbs that they give us. But we can get around all that by just having 1 orbs, which are unchangeable and they are very strong as well. So both of those attack and orbs from Kuzan alongside the chain buffs from our Kid and Law, as well as the 1 orbs from Hiyori, along with the fact that we have 2 Psy units who are boosted characters attacking the enemy with type advantage, means that this team is gonna last no matter how far you go in this treasure map. Hundreds of nabs, I definitely think it will work no matter how far you go. And even if you get to a point where it doesn't deal enough damage, you can add the supports of Lucci there for a 1.5x color affinity boost. The ship doesn't really matter at all. Just use whatever is going to be best for you. Maybe use the host ship for some XP. The second team here is going to be a mid-map team. Now, I see some of you did have a bit of confusion last time around. And this team is only to be fought in the middle of the map. And this is because no matter how far you go in the treasure map, you can be on nav level 100, your 100th run of treasure map. But if you fight a mini boss in the middle of the map, they have the exact same HP as they would have at nav level or your first run. So these are the kind of teams that focus on wave clearing the boss at this mid-map stage where their HP is really low. So this team is designed in that way, and you may be wondering, why is Daruma, this very old irrelevant rare recruit, your captain? It's because he is a -4 cooldown captain, meaning he's going to charge all of our specials to make sure that we can actually kill on the final stage. So the reason why I'm using this kind of a team against Jack is because he's very annoying in that he has defense up as well as resilience. And on top of that, it's 7 turns, and even on top of that, you can't remove it. So it's just a very sluggish mini boss to get around. So that's why I think this is a much better option than just doing it manually. So stage 1 and 2 we are going to be using Oprah. He's one of the fastest wave clearers in the game. He has a very low cooldown. You don't need him expanded. Yeah, because we get a lot of cooldown from Daruma. So he will be ready regardless of if he's expanded or not. Then we can use the support of Pudding to get around the stun on the final stage and release our units. So we can use our Zoro and Roger, who are both very fast wave clearers. They deal 1.5 million fixed damage through normal attacks only debuff. And then also 1 million from Zoro. So both of those together, 2.5 million should be enough. I'm almost certain that it should be enough to kill off Jack at nav level 1. If not, You can also exchange them or change out Zoro for maybe Magma Kaido, the Strength Legend, where he's a 2 million damage dealer, or the Cross Guild Legend, that could also work, or there's a lot of different options, but this should work. I'm 99% sure this will kill. Then next mini boss is going to be against Queen, who is a strength mini boss. Now let's take a look at what Queen does. So Queen is going to give us a 5-turn crewmate special bind, a 8-turn damage reduction, 4-turn defense up, as well as 4-turn threshold. We can't get around the defense up with a defense down because we do have full immunity, and we get our quick sign into units getting cooldown. Now this team, yeah, it's very odd. Yes, we have Sober Mask as our captain. We are using his captain action, aka one of the most fastest activating abilities in this game. It literally takes half a second to activate captain special or captain action. You just swap down and it immediately activates, and it makes Sanji able to go through not only every single enemy defensive effect besides defense up, but also defense up. So legends like Carrot or Dogstorm and Cat Viper, although their captain abilities allow you to go through defensive effects, defense up is not included in this. And I wanted to use something that's all encompassing, so the only option is someone like Sanji. Now Sanji is great for his captain action since it does allow you to get around all that. The only issue is he's only a 4.25x captain, which is still usable, but it is quite weak in today's day and age. So we do have to make up with that with the rest of the team. So besides the defensive effects, which is basically the entire quest here, we have to deal with Special Bind, and that's about it. So in terms of how we are getting our damage, we are going to be using Kamizo on stage 1 to wave clear and give us a 2-turn or boost, which will last until the second stage. Then on the second stage, we can use our Kikunojo and Izo Legend special that will wave clear, give us a 3.5x chain lock, which will last until the final stage, and then also extend the ore boost from Kamizo's special from stage 1, and that will last until the final stage as well. We also have Kikunojo and Izo being a prime character for the support of Kozuki Oden and Roger. This legend is amazing as a support, giving us a 1.75x attack boost from a support, which is beyond me. That's a very strong effect, and it doesn't require us to use a special. It just happens at the final stage. Carrot, full board of tandem orbs. We need a tandem orb on our Sanji, otherwise it's a 3.5x captain, way too weak. So yeah, you definitely need someone who's going to give you a tandem orb. Otherwise you could just use Sanji's special himself. And if you don't have the Kozuki Oden and Roger support, don't worry, just use Sober Mask or Sanji special. That will give you a full board of tandem orbs and the very same attack boost, but using the support is a bit faster, I must say. Then we can also use the special of our Yasop and Usopp to give us a delay conditional attack boost as well as a base attack boost. So with all that, we have a 1.75x attack boost, a 2.25x orb boost, a 1.3x color affinity if you add the ace support to one of your quick characters. You also have a 2.25x conditional attack boost, a 1250 base attack boost, as well as a 3.5x chain lock from your Kikunojo and Izo. Definitely making up for the loss of your damage in your captains. And also remember, you can use both of your Sanjis. Their captain actions, as I said, are very easy to activate, very fast. So you can use both of your Sanjis. That's 2 characters hitting with insane damage. So for most of this, a lot of the treasure map, most people for the entire treasure map, this team won't even need Yasop and Usopp. And unfortunately, if you are going to the point where you use them, then you will need the cooldown from a -2 cooldown ship, as well as expansion on Yasop and Usopp. And in addition to that, you will need the support of Uta. So yeah, you need to use this Uta support because there is going to be a 5-turn special bind on Yasop and Usopp, but you can release them from it with Uta. So there is quite a big requirement from this team if you are going to the point where you need to use Yasop and Usopp. Yeah, you need minus 2 cooldown chip and expansion. But don't worry, there is an alternate solution. And although it is a bit annoying because you need 3 specials now, or 2 specials, sorry, but it's a lot more accessible. This is only to use later on, so I wouldn't recommend using this until it's absolutely necessary. Probably only at around nav level 200 plus. But what you do here is you do the same thing with Kamazo and Kikunojo and Izo. But then you use Sanji for an attack boost and like tandem orbs because we don't have Carrot anymore. We use Nami to get rid of the special bind instead, as well as give us a color affinity. She's a very fast activation, by the way. All these units, although it's 3 specials here, it is very fast activating specials, which is the main important thing. You can have 1 special that's slower than 3 specials, like Kawamatsu, the arena character. He's so slow, but these units are very fast. And then after that, we use Mr. 3 supports to get us that 2 turns of cooldown that we need. And then you can use Yasop and Usopp. So I don't want you guys struggling with this in terms of accessibility. So at the start, use this. You don't even need Ace. Just go on up until this team doesn't work anymore, which is going to take a long time. And you can switch to this one, where it is a bit slower, not really by much, but it does a lot more damage with the base attack boost and conditional from Yasop and Usopp. So that was quite a long explanation for that one, but yeah, just be careful about that and play wisely. Always on treasure map, start off playing at the bare minimum. Try to get the most speed as possible. You don't need to hit with all of your damage, and then slowly build your way up. And once you actually need the damage, then change up your teams, even though it does sacrifice a bit of speed. So the final mini boss here is against King. Now King is quite annoying as well. It is a bunch of random stuff. He has special bind, or he gives us special bind. He has damage nullification. He makes our type orbs weak. He has or he gives us NAO. He also gives us chain attack down, as well as lethal burn and a full board of unfavorable orbs. So how this team works is stage 1 we use what's his face, Cat Viper. We use his special. No, wait, no, we use Brook special. We use Brook special on stage 1. Then we use on the second stage we use Cat Viper to give us a carry over and attack boost for the final stage. He is very fast. Don't use Dog Storm. He is much slower than Cat Viper. Cat Viper special is almost instantaneous. So yeah, just consider that always when you're making teams. How fast do these specials actually activate? It's not always just about how many specials are you using. How fast they activate. Go experiment in the Berry Cave quest, and you'll find that these characters, the Cat Viper works a lot faster than Dog Storm. So use Cat Viper on stage 2, and then use Zoro to wave clear, as well as carry over a chain boost. And then on the final stage, we can use the special of our Nami and Carrot to get rid of the special bind, as well as give us a chain boundary effect. Alongside the chain boost from our Zoro will be surely enough to get through the chain attack down with one good strike. So we have a I think about 3.25x chain boundary minimum with Nami and Carrot, and then a 1.1 chain boost from Zoro. So that's easily way above the 3.5x that you need to get past the chain attack down. We are still ignoring the burn. I mean, you don't need to worry about that. We have high enough HP, and we have 1 orbs on our bottom row thanks to our Brook crewmate ability. So with all that, you can also use your other Cat Viper for another for a 2.5x orb boost this time. So you'll have a 2.5x attack boost, orb boost. You'll have a huge chain. You'll have 1 orbs, and Jack, or just put your strongest strength unit, who is of course boosted by Cat Viper, having a primary class as well. So just put your strongest strength unit there in place of Jack. and you will be fine. So that's going to be it for this team. I'm just a bit concerned about if Zoro will actually wave clear, because his damage is quite low. But the worst case scenario, you have to change this up a teeny bit, but I will showcase that if I do make any changes. So don't worry. Let's get into the final boss against Kaido. And for this one, we are using a lot of supports. Clash Judge comes in clutch with this one, with the MVP here, which is going to be this Kid Ranger support. You can get her on Extra Island. She's a part of the rookie character recruitment quests, but she allows us to get around 2 turns of the weak chain lock that we get in this quest. So just a basic breakdown for the boss fight, we are using a versus Luffy friend captain, and for the intrusion we are using a Yamato Oiran friend captain. Both of them we are using 6+ Luffy. It's very accessible in my opinion. Well, not in my opinion, it's just very accessible. We have free Luffy, free skulls, happy days, free super tandem. So on this quest here, how it's gonna work is stage 2, we get the 7 turns of a weak chain lock, as well as a huge chain attack down that we have to deal with, and then we also get paralysis orbs. So we are using the Pirate King Adventures Ace to get around the paralysis orbs, and then we also use the Judge to get around 5 of the 7 turns of the chain lock, the weak chain lock, and then the Ranger support gets around the last 2 turns of it. We then use our Luffy special, the versus Luffy special, to give us a chain boundary effect that allows us to easily get past the chain attack down. Easily handle stage 2, and then we go over to the final stage, and we use the special of our Hina to get around 6 of the turns of both defense up and attack down. We get rid of the last turn of defense up and attack down with the support of the old man on Luffy. We get around the damage reduction with the special of our Sanji. We get around the damage reduction and the threshold with the special of Sanji, and also the supports of Violet, as well as Izo on our Ace. That's about it for this team. That's how everything works. Hina gets around the defense up, Old Man gets around the threshold, and the damage reduction supports on Sanji and Ace get around the damage reduction, I'm pretty sure. So happy days. Oh, yeah, I made a mistake earlier. I said the Old Man got around the defense up. No, he gets around attack down and threshold. Hina gets around the extra turn of defense up, and then Sanji, the supports on Sanji and Ace get around the last turns of damage reduction, because remember Sanji only gets around 5 of those turns, there's 7 of it, so we have to get around the last 2 turns of all those debuffs through other means. So that's a very basic rundown of the team, and obviously Luffy's just there for damage, uses special for full board of matching orbs, and a bunch of other goodies. Make sure you hit your perfects on your Violet and Izo so that you can actually activate the effects. So make sure you are using a ship that makes it easy to hit your perfect taps. For your intrusion, the final team of the video, this team is also very basic, not as many supports. Same boost, 4.5x, and this one we are using Oira and Yamato, stage 2, attack down, and pain. We are going to ignore the pain, so that's going to be quite painful and annoying, but we will be able to survive that quite easily. So we do have a 1-1 slot barrier. Luckily Sanji, his crewman ability states that the captain rows and the bottom row will get recovery slots at the start of the match. Yamato, Oira and captain converts that into Wano orbs. You carry that over to stage 2 and you can get past the barrier easily. You can get around the attack down with the special of Nami and Karina in the form of Karina, and she'll also give you a few G orbs and also a orb boost. You can then also handle the no, that's about it. That's it for stage 2. Literally, that's it. Stage 2 is very easy. I'm very tired if you couldn't tell, bruh. But anyways, the last stage here against Ace is going to give you a full board of block orbs. You're going to get 5 turns of bind after sockets. That's going to go down to 3 turns, or 2 turns, because we actually have 6 free spirits on this crew, meaning we get 3 turns of bind reduction from Oira and Yamato's captain. We get around the last 2 turns of that bind with a Rayleigh support on our Luffy. And we get around 3 turns of rewind because we have so many units here that get around rewind. Sanji, for one, gets around 2 turns of rewind on the bottom row due to us having 6 free spirits. So actually put Ace on the bottom row there to make sure that he gets around the rewind. Then we have Usopp. Oh yeah, and also put Usopp there. Then we have Usopp, who's going to get around the special bind, the 6 turns of it. And then we have our Ace, who's literally just there for points at this. Like, he literally is just there for points, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because we get around the special bind with Usopp. We get around the rewind with Nami Kurina as well as Sanji. We get around the unfavorable orbs with Luffy. And Yamato gets around the unfavorable orbs thingy with her special. And then the despair is ridded with our Captain Luffy as well. So Ace can definitely be replaced if you want to. But that's basically it for this team. I mean, there's nothing else I need to really discuss. The only issue is I think Usopp might only reduce 5 of the 6 turns. So you might need a 1 extra turn of special bind reduction from a support. But besides that, I think that's literally it for the teams. Yeah, so you are going to be needing 1 extra support for special bind. So let me just quickly see what options we have. So I mean, you can just use the Kid Ace support or Kid Sabo support on Ace. So maybe that is a use for Ace, but I mean, you can just replace Ace with any special bind reducer. You could just replace him with the Moria Legend. But I mean, use a free spirit special bind reducer, because otherwise you will lose having 6 free spirits, which will just mess up everything. So make sure that if you are replacing Ace with a special bind reducer, because you don't have Kid Sabo support, that it is a free spirit special bind reducer. Otherwise it will mess up the team. So thank you guys for watching. Sorry this is very scuffed. I mean, I don't have a lot of time. Treasure map is tomorrow, so get grinding, get going, lose some sleep, and don't do very few nerves. Go at least 100. Do it for your alliance, do it for yourself, do it for your amount of materials. I am very low on mats. I need to go super hard in this treasure map. I will keep you guys updated on my treasure map progress, because I am gonna be trying very hard this time. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. I've been Omai, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, and I'm out.